Om Shanti Arif Bhai. Can we start?
Just a moment, yeah?
Yeah.
Om Shanti and good morning. Is the voice clear?
Yes. Yeah, it is clear.
Is it a bit louder?
No, this is fine.
It's fine? Okay, thank you. So, thank you for inviting me for this morning talk. It's quite early. I don't know how appropriate is the topic, but let's see how it goes. So today we're going to explore this subject that came up in a few days back, Murli, on the 27th, original date of 27th of November 1985, the way to forget the old world and the old sanskars. And I thought that this was an interesting topic, and it was, one of those Murlis that you get a whole package. And I thought it would be nice to explore this a little bit since you have already read the Murli, and there are quite interesting things that came up. So the question that I had in my mind was that, have we forgotten the old world and the old sanskars? And which one is easier, to forget the old world or the old sanskars? This will be a little bit interactive because the topic is such that you can't, I don't want to take everything on my shoulders. It will be nice to bounce ideas. So feel free to interrupt and speak in between. So I had asked myself this question: have I forgotten the old world and the old sanskars? And can actually one forget? And what is the meaning to forget in this context? Any thoughts?
They should not come into action, our old sanskar. So I suppose forgetting the old world comparatively easy, forgetting the sanskar. Sometimes we don't wish the sanskar to pop up, but sometimes it comes up without against our conscious wish.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody also mentioned on the chat box, old sanskars is difficult to let go. Why is it so? Why is old sanskars difficult to let go?
So many birth of no.
Yeah,
Half of the cycle, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. But the good thing is that what we usually remember is only this one. but the molding of what we remember is actually very, very long period. That's very much correct. It's such an old story that we've been repeating. Do you feel that you have been repeating a lot of things, even in this birth, in terms of the way you use your sanskars? You can almost predict, you know, how you're going to be behaving. Why? Because you've been repeating the same thing, you know. Yeah, somebody mentioned that they were my only companions, could carry over birth after birth. Yeah, they were our companions. That's very right, you know. And it's almost predictable how one is going to behave, yourself and also other people, because they are also being, there is this program that that actually comes into act without you having to do anything. It just pops up, and this situation, it just comes out, and then you suddenly see yourself, and then you go and think about it. Yeah. So when you are in this situation in a classroom, you can discuss and you can say and you can give nice points, but in real situation, we often do the same thing. Yeah. Um, there is no, as if there is no intervention. You just do what you do. Intentions are there, but action is usually based on something that is beyond really um, 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 to be able to stop it. It just comes, and you realize, oh, you just done something. And if you don't do something, in my experience, I noticed that you feel something. You might be doing something else, but your feeling is the same based on the sanskars. Okay, somebody mentioned sanskars is the only resource bank for the mind and the intellect. Yeah. So I call them the mini programs. So we have these mini programs that just launches themselves at the right time. When this person is saying something or doing something, or when I see something, immediately these programs get launched, and they just come in the front and we start behaving in a certain way, feeling in a certain way. And as I said, more about feeling. Do you relate to this? Yes, sanskars are repeated. Yeah, yeah. They are so much repeated, you know. And the thing that I realize is that we start believing in our lives after sometimes, because we know that this is not true. The old, why, Baba is talking about forgetting something. We have to forget it, okay? Because we are totally living it. An example would be like, this happened actually to me. Let's say, for example, you are dreaming, okay? I watched this myself several times. So there is a dream which is not really a dream. Like, that this is a dream. Yeah. Usually it happens sometimes when you're partially awake and partially asleep. And there is something that happens in the dream. Okay. So there is a dream and something is happening, something horrible, you know, and you feel, that this is not a nice feeling. Okay. And then you wake up and then you know, that this was a dream. Like, now you are confirmed that this is a dream. But you notice that the feeling stays. Anyone had that kind of experience? Like, even after knowing that this was a dream and confirming that, oh, nothing has happened, this is a dream, but you still feel it? Yeah, exactly. So, so what is happening? If it was a dream and you are awake and you know that this is why the feeling is still there. This is forgetting the old world and the old sanskars. The measure means that when I am awake, then the dream should be not having any effect on me, you know. But what I see is different in my experience. I still have that burden, the heaviness, you know. And then after some time, maybe it goes away. Hmm? But something here retains memory, you know. And you might actually take that feeling into your day. You had this, thing that happened in your mind, and, you saw it in a dream, and then you go and do your thing. But still, that feeling is with you, because it has been experienced. What intellect sees, soul feels. Yeah. So Om by saying, what intellect sees, soul feels. I'm not sure the name, but on Vivo, my dreams are also ruled by companions and scars at subconscious level. Yeah, yeah. So this whole thing is very important to to check. The other point that I wanted to mention, which Baba mentioned in that Murli, is that what is the proof that there is faith? Now, what actually faith does? How faith can help in this forgetting the old world? But this is what Baba mentioned, that uh, that faith plays an important role in going through this process of forgetting the old world and the old sanskars. Because we are studying. And when you're studying, or whenever, yeah, yeah, the proof is intoxication, yeah. But going back to faith, we, when there is faith, then there is result. Did you notice this? Let's say, for example, you go to a particular doctor, and you have so much faith in that doctor. Um, and you go to, maybe after some time, you go to another doctor. But as soon as you walk to that particular new doctor, you don't have so much faith, even though the second doctor is more qualified, but you don't have faith. Which medicine will work for you? When there is faith, the intellect will not wander. That's true also, yes. The intellect will stay. Yeah. So two doctors, one you have faith, but he's not such a good doctor. Another one you don't have faith, is super good doctor. Okay. Which one would you go to? The one you have faith. Why? But the other one is more qualified. Why would you go to a doctor who you have faith, you know, over a doctor who's more qualified? He's got more degrees. He knows the new ways. It reminds me, in the past, there used to be family doctor. Yes, somebody would like to speak, can speak. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Uh, Arif bhai, Om Shanti.
Oh, Shanti.
Actually, the faith heals. Faith
The
does
faith
a
heals.
prominent part of the healing is done by the faith, and the medicine is just a medium, I think.
So what is like, I mean, if somebody is qualified, they know the chemistry, they know the body, they know the medicine. Why faith is more important?
Yeah, because it works at the soul level, subconscious level,
Mm,
the mind uh, level, where the subconscious is convinced
yes.
that whatever I will receive in the form of a medicine, it will work. And then
Yeah.
before the medicine works, the internal fabric starts working, and that,
Yeah. So we should call this internal medicine, because it works from inside. So medication works from outside, but faith works from inside. And it works from the core. It works deep down. In the past, there used to be family doctors. The family doctors will be the only doctor. So if there is anything, the family doctor will come. That's the family doctor. Now, the family doctor, what's the advantage of the family doctor? The old system. What was the advantage? Anyone? What was the advantage for the family? The family doctor knows you, knows your grandfather and great grandfather probably. The whole family is known, and the family doctor does not only treat you. The family doctor has a history, has the background, knows how your father behaved, how your grandfather was sometimes, and how, things are passed on. So when the family doctor sees a particular pattern, is able to relate to those people. Somebody mentioned love. There's a connection. There's something special that when this person says something, because you have heard it from some experiences has been shared, no? This happened to this person and this happened, and you heard those things as a child, and immediately, like, there's no question. You just have faith, right? And this is what kind of charges the whole system and makes it so powerful that there is faith. Now, Baba is our doctor, right? Baba is our family doctor. Yeah. So we got a new family doctor. And this family doctor not only knows your immediate family, Baba knows your full family originally as you came. Baba understands you so much more than you understand yourself, you know. And when he is prescribing something to you, that if there is faith, okay. Now, because now we have lost that, and we are lost, we've forgotten actually all these things, we didn't know. And so it requires time to realize that, yes, to remember. Baba says, no, remember me. Remember me means what? Remember me means remember I'm your doctor. You forgot me. Remember me, I healed you last time. Not only I healed you, I healed every one of you, and I took you back into safety. Yeah. So this is the meaning of remembrance. Yeah. So means I remember that this is really true. I wake up from the dream and realize that the dream is no longer there. You know, now this world is exactly like that. And the sanskaras are lies. Yeah. So I wake up to the truth that, okay, what is the reality? And the proof of having that faith is the proof of intoxication. Yeah, the proof of faith is intoxication, and the proof of intoxication is happiness. Now, my question is to you, how many people do you know who are happy? Forget about outsiders. In Gyan, how many people do you know that are happy? Constantly happy. Let's add that part. How many people do you know? I mean, really. I mean, it doesn't have to be something that resonates with me. I'm asking you a real question. How many people do you know that are happy? That you can say that this person is happy? Or let's turn the question, are you happy? My answer is no. I can't say that I am really constantly happy. Yeah, not constantly. Yeah. Yeah. So something is there which is kind of eluding, something is not right somewhere, you know, something is not right. Yeah, we must admit, you know, not only like, okay, fine, maybe, me, I'm struggling, maybe others are okay, but it's rare, it's very difficult to find somebody who's happy, you know. Forget about intoxication, just kind of happy, It's so, it's such a rare thing, you know. So what's going on? We've got the doctor. Yeah. We say that we know him, we remember him, we have faith in him. And he says that if you have faith, then, like health checkup, you can climb the stairs, good health. I can climb the stairs. I'm not going to have difficulty in breathing. And, there's no aches and pains or very less ache and pains. And I'm strong, I have a lot of energy. These are all signs of good health, right? So Baba's sign of good health is that there should be two things, okay? There should be intoxication, and how we will know that there is inner intoxication is happiness. Now, let's not confuse this happiness with, like there are people who laugh a lot. It doesn't mean that they're happy. I laugh a lot, but it doesn't mean that I'm happy, okay? So happiness is a state of being. It's an inner state, right? Happiness doesn't mean that, you could be just normal, face is normal, but there is happiness. Yeah. And of course, it is linked with contentment. Yeah. Contentment is more appropriate sometimes to use actually, because happiness, the world is very much, I think, doesn't understand the word happiness at all. This happiness, they think, having things and, you know, so this is inner happiness that is constantly in the background where somebody is not disturbed. Yeah? So then Baba goes and explores four um, types of intoxication. So the first type, he says that the intoxication is of the bodiless, soul conscious form. Intoxication of bodiless, soul conscious form. And then he's given a very nice homework. Yeah. So somebody mentioned that maybe the doctor has forgotten being a doctor, or I find someone better. Yeah. Without real love, no real happiness. Yeah, that's true. There has to be love first, You feel the love, then you have faith also. And then from the faith also, there is intoxication, and then there is happiness also. So you could look at it like that as well. So the first intoxication is of the bodiless soul conscious form. What is our intoxication? Our intoxication is body conscious form. This is our intoxication. Body conscious form. When you meet somebody, the first thing that you see, what is it that you see first when you meet someone? Let's say somebody is introducing you, or you went somewhere and you meet somebody. Automatically, the eyes looks at the person, looks at the face of the person, yeah, looks at what they are wearing, what is it they are carrying with them, and who that person is with, So when we are dealing with somebody, this thing is like before even you start, everything is there. And Baba says your intoxication is in bodiless soul conscious form. Your intoxication is being able to see yourself as a soul and seeing the other person as a soul. That's where your intoxication is. All are soul, but spiritual intoxication is experienced when you are aware of what type of soul you are. Go into the detail of this amongst yourself and churn it by yourself. So this is what we are doing. This is what Baba was saying, Go and discuss about this, talk about this and see, Reality really, when I look at myself, when I see somebody, first I see the face. I see their face first, and then I remember, oh, Baba said to look at the soul. I remember that I am a soul also. Yeah, I don't know about you, but to me, I see people as people, I see the face, I see, soul consciousness is not coming immediately. It will come, but first, you know, maybe on a good day, I have certain, um, in this intoxication, and then I start seeing. Not that it doesn't happen, but the way it happens is quite different. Has anybody actually experienced soul consciousness? It's too early to talk about this, I know. But can somebody tell me how soul consciousness feels? Like, not based on what you read, based on your own experience. Yeah. Just think about it. I mean, you can answer yourself or you can actually share. If somebody here has experienced soul consciousness, you know, yes,
Om Shanti. Yeah.
thank you for
I
serving
think,
us.
yeah, when I've experienced during when I was in yoga, so in
Yeah,
between the Murli, there's a
yeah,
song, and there
yeah,
is also when when you don't feel your body at all, like you are like
yeah,
what I felt is I didn't feel my body, and it was I was beyond this, and it was extremely light. Yeah,
yeah.
it was light, and I was like floating in the air. And
So,
just without there's no body existence that time, and
By
that's
what?
oh
Let me interrupt you
yeah,
1 second.
yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
interrupt you. What were you thinking?
no thinking, no thought.
Exactly.
No thought.
Exactly. Yeah, you cannot think at that time, you know. And the good part, as you mentioned, please continue. But the good part is that you said that this happened when you were in this meditation or that song played or something happened, right? Okay, it didn't happen when you were chatting and interacting with your, no, non, when you were interacting with Lokik family or some people, right?
Yes,
Correct?
yes, correct.
Please
Because
continue sharing your
uh,
experience. It's very nice.
I think that's it. Sound, your own mind becomes a barrier. Actually, that if this is there, if you are in this consciousness that of and you're in sound, then you cannot one cannot like I cannot experience soul consciousness. Only when there is no sound means there even if the sound is there around, but I won't listen. I won't be able to notice that sound,
Yeah.
and even I will not be able to notice my as we discussed that no thought also. So you are just in like a spacecraft. You are in top of the world. You're just floating. What I've experienced is, and you will also have
Very
sometimes
true.
eyes
Very,
bringing tears of joy and this kind of thing. Automatically, it will happen.
very true. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
And
so
I'm
true.
sure each one of us would have experienced this in their own way.
Definitely. But what I'm saying is that how can I use this? How can I use this when it
Yeah,
only
that's
happens in this scenario, I need to
yes,
have
that's
it
very
while I'm
important. How to
acting,
use it. Yeah, yeah, correct.
you know? So it's very nice, very good. And we know it, but then how is this going to be practical, Yeah. Somebody else wants to share? Or, you wanted to add something? Please go ahead.
Just I was thinking, yes, how to use it practically because it doesn't happen. It's very rare. I mean, when I'm in deep meditation, and when also the person who is doing the meditation, I mean, who is a sister or brother, then that also plays a role. Like how
Yeah,
he lifts with his energy, he will lift you up,
yeah,
and with our own churning also, with our own energy also, we can lift. I mean, and
yeah,
get
yeah,
you can get kashish with Baba,
yeah,
and he just Baba lifts you up. So,
yeah,
but it doesn't happen often. I mean, that
yeah,
is
yeah.
something I think we can stand on surely. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, somebody wanted to speak. I think they were. Somebody else wants to add something? What's your soul conscious experience? Bodiless soul conscious experience. Vijit bhai.
Yeah, so when like I also mentioned, the especially when we sit in meditation, that's when it really we experience that lightness, and I feel very light. So again, with the thought that we start visualizing that I am a soul. So something mechanically, not mechanically, we are consciously doing that. It's not
Yeah,
happening uh,
by
uh,
itself.
yeah, by itself. So when we do that, so there is an effort to forget the body and to visualize me as a point or a light, or I'm consciously thinking that I am a soul, a light. So that's when that feel comes that I am a light. I feel very light, and everything goes easy. That then there is a peace also, right? Experienced, and um, that's a sort of experience that I had.
Yeah. Mm. So the same question, right? How can we take this, and use this? Because and as you said, no, okay, some days maybe it will happen like that, and maybe some days it doesn't, right? It's not like every time you sit, no, but you're trying, you try, yeah,
Right.
which is good.
Effort is you're putting effort,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
To stay in that awareness.
yeah, yeah,
So it's not happening naturally, right?
yeah, yeah. So what Baba is inviting us to actually retain this state, where we can actually now function in the world. Okay, and you will see in a moment. I'll just read one comment here when somebody mentioned their experience. You are right. Soul to soul, as an X-ray vision, go beyond the eyes, the demeanor, you get gel with the person. No part of body disturbs you when I walk and move around in a different atmosphere, feel with different energy, which I later realize is walking with God. So this is another experience, and sometimes this experience of soul consciousness that the person is mentioning is quite deep, where you are awake, you are walking and you are moving, but you are a little bit shifted from your normal awareness and consciousness. And it does happen sometimes. We might be on the move, but that feeling of being connected is very deep. And that can only come when there is soul consciousness. So this is another example. And sometimes it can go for days also. So this is also another, I will call it soul consciousness on the move. And this does
Mhm.
happen through
Am
our
I
practice.
audible?
Somebody would like to share something?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Rakiman.
Just adding on to the same point, a real life example that I can quote is while I was climbing up or maybe trekking for half an hour somewhere in Himachal, and it was very steep in the sense I had no idea where the leg is going and how am I climbing up the mountain. Okay, and after the climbing had completed and I reached the destination is when I realized, oh, that half an hour I wasn't there.
Yeah.
This body wasn't there. There was complete lightness. And there
Mm,
was so much of connection with what was going on at that moment.
mm,
And what I was getting is, this is what soul consciousness has been an auto driven space.
mm.
Like
Yeah.
we've been auto driven with our body consciousness all the time, but
Mm,
when these kind of situations comes in front of you, you wouldn't know what is that, how you're going to be doing it, but
mm,
then you go ahead of who you are or your thought and
mm.
move ahead.
Yeah.
And this is what I experienced when I was in midst of that
Yeah.
nature intoxication is what I will say. because there was nothing there. There was no way that even a bicycle can be drawn up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. So, there is a disconnection that happens in these moments. Like I asked the question, what were you thinking in that state? And there is no thought. You're not thinking. There might be thought, but you're not thinking. And this is one thing that we need to understand, that some switches, when we say forget, it means that we have closed, like we have switched off something. And that has a very great connection with our minds. When the mind is engaging itself with the old sanskars, then our reaction is body consciousness. Yeah, that's the result of it. And that's why Baba says you forget the old sanskar. You're not tapping it. And our function at the moment is only tapping into the old sanskars. My old experiences of what had happened when I was 5 years old, when I was 10 years old, who said what, and all these things, I'm tapping from that. Now, in order for me to tap to something else, I need to switch off. This is what is interfering with my life. Yeah. So if you heard the common factor in these experiences that we're talking about, it's a change, it's a turn. Yeah. It's a turn, it's a change to see things in a different way. Okay. My awareness becomes very different from the normal awareness. Yeah. And automatically it can happen while you're running, while you're like Rakiben said that you are climbing. I actually had a similar experience. I was climbing up and the guide was saying just a little bit, and it was so steep, you know, that I didn't even think that I can reach, and I was the oldest one in the group, but I made it. And the last pitch was, but you can't think at that time. That's the factor that I'm trying to stress. You can't think. You just kind of moving your legs. You don't know that even you're moving your legs. One comment, moving with deep intuition and some hand energy holding. I realize, did I do it? Was it me? Yeah. It's not just moving, also when I react differently to people, was it me? Yeah. So ask yourself, who's me? Is it the body conscious you? Or there is something else that is much more powerful than your old sanskars? Okay. So one more step, let's move, because time also is limited. The second form of intoxication is of the alokik confluence age life. In this life too, think about the details of the kind of life you have. Alokik confluence age life. Whose life changed after coming to Gyan? Like when I say change, I mean change, like really changed. Anybody? Alokik life and what was before?
Yes,
Waking up
it
early.
is. Yes, it is way. You please go ahead. Yes, definitely it has changed. The
So,
routine, the thinking pattern has
Yeah.
changed to a great extent, but there is a margin. Yeah, Vijay, you also.
Yes, Vijit, but
no, I said waking up early. So earlier,
waking up well. Did you feel that there is no difference between weekend and weekday? Anyone? Like like everything is same.
yeah.
Yeah, Rakib, are you trying to say something?
Yes.
We can see you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you rightly said, there's no difference between weekdays and weekends
Every day
because
is the same. Yeah.
yes, every day is the same. And another difference is it's been easy now for me
Yeah.
to let go things than it was before. I will not say I'm 100% there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's easy now.
Yeah.
It's easy to say okay,
Yeah.
being one with okay. Otherwise, there has been a pretense.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is a lot of lightness, there is a lot of easiness that has come because of Baba's understanding. What I'm saying is there is a lot of thing going in, but there is still something that has to be covered. Like in my own experience, I think um, I am dealing with people in a very different way. The way we are dealing with people in alokik confluence age life is so different from the lokic. Our aims have changed. You know, if you come here and you still are pursuing, the worldly stuff like we used to do before, even if it is for a good cause, I would say that you are still living in the past. You have not really transitioned. What is my effort today? If I come to alokik life and my effort is still the same like before, then what is the difference? Bijitpa, you were saying something?
No, so one difference that I noticed after becoming a Brahmin, that I feel I am unique and different, especially when I'm with my Laukik or when I'm in the crowd or when I'm in office. That
Mm,
uniqueness I can feel. That
yeah,
awareness is again and again popping up within my mind.
mm, yeah. And this is the contrast of people who function using old sanskars. And now these sanskars, the new sanskar that Baba has awakened us to, is coming into effect. I'm not saying they are like not there, but they're very slow, because sometimes we move back and forth also, and that's what Baba is saying. No, it's not like that. Somebody mentions, or I'm imagining, so I think I should be like a magnet and reveal myself so that they are attracted. The only alokik I feel is I am chosen by God. I belong to God. God belongs to me. Yeah. Yeah, the aspect of finding the Father in this life is one big aspect. The difference is that we heard about God, we read about God, we spoke about God, but now we know God. You know, it's a very high claim actually, but maybe we are understanding slowly what He is. Maybe we're getting aspects of it. For myself, maybe others have had a different take, but this feeling of really relief for me. I would say my biggest feeling is I got relief that, oh, now I don't have to look, I just have to follow what I'm getting. Yes, Rakib.
So, if you look at the difference between before Gyan and after Gyan, before Gyan, all rituals, because I come from a very strong bhakti mark, so all rituals were like to the T, it should be perfect. And if nothing, if there's any kind of imperfect perfection comes in, that might disturb me. So
Mm,
today, even if uh, any rituals have to be performed, been in the Lokic world as well,
mm, mm,
there's
mm,
a lot of easiness because I feel there's a lot of connection
mm,
with the supreme energy that
mm,
shows up while you're doing this. So because you know the reason, you know that hey,
mm,
it's you're connecting with a higher power. Nothing
mm.
to worry about. It. There's no worry around there. There's very much of
Yeah.
easiness. No,
Mm,
you as being in the Lockic world, we'll say, okay, no, there's nothing in Bhakti Marg that I have to do, but how I see this is, being in that world out with people, you need to be connecting with them in their form. And this
mm,
connection becomes very easy now, even if any rituals or any kind of satsang I have to attend with the family.
mm.
There is no pressure.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll say the pressure has become pleasure.
Yeah. 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 And another aspect is I noticed there is no fear, there is less fear. And there is also like, one thing, making mistake was a big thing for me. But now it's okay, mistakes happens, it's okay. Because the ego is not involved, I think, The ego is not jumping into everything, you know. So some nice sharing from Ami. From problem to solution, poor to rich, hard to soft, me to you. These are a few difference we can feel from lokik to alokik. Yeah. Yeah. And then someone else says that he is stripping me of all 63 birds costume and giving me a new one. Am I ready? I wear, then remove. I feel so safe under his canopy. Yeah, one of the things I think, because we are used to the old, and it's our default operating system, you know. So every time, you know, I go back into it and then I remember, yeah, I feel safe under his canopy. Yeah. So the third point. So Baba revises first. He says that the first intoxication is soul conscious. Second is intoxication of alokik life. Third is the intoxication of the angelic stage. Also go into the details of who you would call an angel. Who would you call an angel? And fourth is the intoxication of the future. So what is going to happen? So looking at the time, we'll just move on a little bit so that we can finish the part and then we can maybe share a little bit more. So out of all these four types of alokik intoxication, even if you have one type of intoxication in your life, you will automatically continue to dance in happiness. So what is important is from the faith of what Baba is saying, from the form that Baba wants our awareness to stay, whether it's soul conscious, alokik, whether it's angelic or the deity form. If we can bring this into awareness, you know, then what happens is this intoxication rises. Okay. And then when this intoxication rises, we are able to forget the normal way of using our mind, which has been to track and trap into the old story, the old connection, the old world. It is all related to that. When I forget about that, then only I can have this intoxication. Yeah. And how can I forget is that when I bring this new awareness into action. Yeah. So then Baba says that in the effort of making life, it is these two, especially there are two obstacles that Baba mentions, the old world and the old sanskar. They intervene. Both bodily relation and possession of the old are included in the world. Yeah, possession as well as relations. Along with that, even more than the world, it is the old sanskars that become greater problem. The world can be forgotten, but sanskars cannot be forgotten. The world can be forgotten very easily. You know, when you move to a place, you start not so much connecting to the, you know, the old place, no? So you can move easily to another place and you probably will forget a lot of after some time. But the old sanskars, the programming is still there. So in the new place, with the new relationship, you're still behaving in the same way. Yeah. So the method you have to use to transform sanskar is to have one of the four type of intoxication in a practical form, not just in thought form. Transformation has to be experienced in life. This is called making it practical. This is what I was talking about. It's good in meditation place. It's good when you are, you know, but in a practical way, we need to see this in our life. This is called making it practical. At present, it is just in the intellect, in the form of points, just in terms of thinking and speaking about it. Okay? So, or limited experience. Then what is the problem? Where there is happiness, Maya cannot play her trick. Maya cannot enter the empire of someone who is a carefree emperor. She comes and you then chase her away, and she comes again and you chase her away. I love this part. Sometimes Maya comes in the form of a body, sometimes in the form of a body relation. This is referred to as Maya, sometimes coming as an elephant, sometimes coming as a cat, and sometimes as a mouse. Sometimes you chase the mouse away, and sometimes you chase the cat away. Your time is spent just chasing her away. Okay, so beautiful description. Therefore, always stay in the spiritual intoxication. First of all, reveal yourself, and you will then reveal the Father, because the Father is to be revealed through you. Cha. So let's have one moment of just absorbing all this. Yeah. So anything that you feel was something that you can do something upon, act upon, or some understanding has come? So I'll just read one point before you share. Angelic stage can attract only when I'm a true messenger. Have empathy, want to be his helper, and it is so incognito. My sparkle speaks. I need to polish it more by remembrance. Tried on third Sunday meditation and sometimes at Amrit Well. But future vision may be self-intoxication. But how for others? Yeah. So it's also contagious. When you are intoxicated, the others will feel intoxication. That's a true. There is that happiness, and of course, the happiness will actually catch on to the others as well. So you don't really need to worry about the others. It just happens automatically.
Om Shanti.
Shanti, yes.
Arif bhai, we would like to hear from you, basically the how to be constantly happy, and happiness is just it's a byproduct of in relationship with Baba. So how to experience that relationship with Baba continuously? Uh, how do you uh, how do you practice? We'd like to know,
So,
if you could share, yeah, that will help us.
yeah. Um, I can't be really an authority of this because I don't think I have managed to reach that level of being constantly happy. But I think that I have sat and I have churned about this quite a lot, and I'm still churning about this. And one of the thing is that to remove all the illusions that we have created. When we were in Bhakti, there were scriptures and we were having people who were telling us about God. When we came to Gyan, something kind of clicked inside. And again, we got the Murli, we got some people who were telling us about God again. And I think this is a very personal journey. I think this is what you hear is very good. We have faith in it. That's very good. But in order for me to really understand, I really need to experiment with myself. So, what I feel is useful for me is to be very honest with yourself, because I can you can gain experience in illusion and imagination also, because in the world, people are also having a lot of experiences, and they temporarily become happy also with these experiences, and they think also they found something, you know. So in order for me to really understand what Baba is telling us, I need to change the approach. And one of the things that I've realized is that there is no method. I don't do 1, 2, 3 to reach there, because it's not about that. It's not it's not the thing of my mind and my programming. It's something, like when we go to school, we learn how to be more effective in our studies and all that. That's very different from Baba's teaching, because Baba doesn't teach like that, you know. So I would say to switch your awareness, is probably um, the most effective tool. You switch your awareness, and one of the things about switching your awareness is um, what you are used to think or what you are used to do. Try to do something different, okay, and experiment what it is. Now, most of the people, if you tell them sit in meditation, they'll sit, and whatever the visualization will happen in front of them, okay. So usually they will be like sitting here, and they will try to think that they are here, and then there is Baba there in front, like on the front side, and then maybe some rays are coming. Then our people who are doing commentaries are helping us to develop that. But now imagine Baba is on your right, okay? Then imagine Baba is on your left. Then imagine Baba is below. This is what I'm calling changing your point of view. Yeah, trying something different. Okay. And then try and experiment and see that Baba is actually nowhere. Baba cannot be positioned. Okay. Baba is beyond space. Okay. Now think about that, how you can experience that. Okay. The soul, is it really here? Is Baba really there? So these kind of experiment helped me a lot, to kind of twist, because mind is already used to pictures, stories, ideas, and then you get fixed into that. I've heard the seniors sometimes saying that I don't go to Baba, let Baba come to me. While listening to the Murli, there's somebody who shared, and they said that I don't sit in front of Baba, I sit besides Baba, and we are looking at the children. Try to shift. Does it make sense, Omba? Try to shift, the normal way. Yeah.
Yes, Haribhai, yeah, it does make sense because more the soul's inherent property is uniqueness. And the more you have unique
Yeah.
approach and unique ways, and it may be idiosyncratic for someone,
Yeah.
but it does create that
Yeah.
ring creates a
Yeah.
special special effect. And
Be soul
yeah,
conscious. One
yeah,
more. Be soul conscious and see your body. Look at
yes,
your,
yes, yes. Try
you know,
and dare seeing that world. I would say that use the word dare because it's not
exactly.
a common thing. It is very uncommon to see the world in a soul consciousness stage, and
Yeah.
people will call you mad, but
Exactly.
you have to do that.
Exactly. That's the best adjective you can. When people call you babe, that means that you are soul conscious now. That's exactly what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
How people labeled Brahma Baba,
Of course. Yeah.
when he used to look at the world from the purely the soul consciousness stage, definitely people will are not used to people looking at this way. And
Omba, if you
Baba,
go into a place in a house and you
yeah,
mark the walls with, things, the people, of course, will call you mad, no? That's what we hear, no? Brahma Baba, what he was doing, other people would have said, "What is this?" You know?
sharing your experience and also insights into how to put this in practice, real practice. I was getting that image of Brahma Baba with Shiv Baba inside, and
Yeah,
and he was preparing that cow dung cow dung that
yeah,
uple we call it,
yeah,
uh, cow dung cakes, and you know
yeah,
he was making that, and when Jagdish Bhai ji saw him, so I was
yeah,
just imagining what was the inner state of Brahma Baba that time.
yeah. And he would become a baby, no? He would go into this mode where he's now baby Krishna and all those things that he was doing, no? I mean, of course, in the world they will say that you are not, in your senses.
What kind of Baba is he? He's got so many people under him. Why he is making that cow dung cake himself? And he should have been more well dressed and be seated on a higher stage, and then
Yeah.
disciples at the lower form. So
This
uh,
is
I think that inner state, he must be looking at that upla activity, making of that cow dung cake activity also
exactly,
like
exactly.
a medium to converse with God or experience Him.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
that
The
was
ego
a unique way.
dissolves. The ego
Yeah,
totally dissolves.
yeah,
Now I'm talking
absolutely.
to you, there is still some ego. There is still something that I'm trying to hold. When I become so free that the word doesn't get filtered into that mind, letting the old sanskar go means what? I'm not using it at all. I'm totally, just dumped it. And I'm experiencing that freedom, you know. I'm experiencing that freedom to express the truth. And that truth is not expressed through this mind, you know. And that's what the invitation is. Baba is inviting us to see if we can let go. And letting go means letting go, not using it at all, you know. When you are brave enough to go into the world with this, then you are soul conscious. Otherwise, if you are holding even little bit, there is little bit of me, the I, then this is not, this is why I think is one of the probably reason why that happiness is not, that intoxication is not there. It should be much, much more. Yeah. So I think I will pause here. If there is anything else, any announcements, maybe, I don't know.
No, RS, there is no announcement yet. So we can move towards meditation. A minute.
Okay. Would you like to do that? Okay. So I'll take a few minutes more, So just in the same mode of just trying to switch our consciousness into something that is beyond time, beyond space. The illusion of the soul being in this body and experiencing the world through the body. If we can just switch off that, just to be aware that I am, and just I am. I'm not in a place. I'm not limited to time. I am just in awareness. I am the awareness. There is no effort in this. Baba is not to be brought somewhere, or I don't need to go somewhere, because I was never separate from him. The separation is only in my mind. He was not away from me. I was not away from him. I will never be away from him. This connection is not a physical connection. This is an eternal connection with the divine source, the supreme being. In order for me to feel this connection, I have to let go of all the stories of the past and the new stories that I've created for myself. And the best way to reach this point is in silence. Just switching off everything. In that space of nothing, there is everything. Baba is there, soul is there, the brothers are there, and there are no boundaries. Everything is one. Let me feel this deep within that consciousness. There is love for this silence. There is intoxication. The whole world is not important anymore. This body is not important anymore. The other bodies are not important anymore. So let go of the body. Let go of your story, because that also is not important. The I-ness has to go for me to be there. So make this your reality. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Arif Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a blissful day.
Om Shanti.